Hey guys, Gookin here. I owe an apology. I seem to have lost some footage. I had attempted this particular fight 2 or 3 times and died several times. You can see the bloody corpse there. This was my final attempt, and it's the only one that I have on record, which is a bit saddening to me because this is my favorite fight of the game, I think. This one and False King. And Penetrator is somewhat fun, but Penetrator is relatively easy comparatively. The Purple Flame Shield, which you can see I have and you've seen me upgrade up to this point, is a huge help in this fight. Also, I am using Enchant Weapon and I believe Sticky White Stuff, or whatever they're calling it in this game, this version, to increase my damage considerably. The thing about Flame Lurker is he is very unpredictable. So you'll see I'm taking a hit, getting back, keeping my shield up as much as possible. Sometimes he'll just stand back and not do anything. Sometimes he'll rush you. If you get lucky, sometimes he'll just keep hopping back and forth for a while, and you can heal. Otherwise, well... And his leap back there has almost no warning, and it can hit you sometimes even when you got your shield up. Purple Flame Shield is not a 100% damage reduction from fire, and as you can see, he does fire damage, well, every time I hit him or get near him. But luckily, I've got my stamina up to a point where I can recover quick enough from each of the attacks that he's dealing. If you have to, back off. Back off and heal. Those pillars around the side can be used to body block him, to prevent him from attacking you while you're healing. The lava on the ground will damage you if you walk into it, so be careful. I believe I had the fire ring, fire resist ring, and the purple flame shield for this fight. I don't know how much the fire ring helped, but, well, you saw there how much damage it took from the fire, or the lava. You don't want to stand in the lava. He does get stunned fairly easily when you hit him. So if you've got the stamina, I think you can actually stun lock him until your stamina runs out. But if you do that and your stamina does run out, you're going to be in for a world of hurt in about 10 seconds after that. He does get more aggressive as the fight goes on, but his AI is not the greatest. If I remember right, it's actually, I think, possible to just stand in a corner and shoot him with a bow for a long time until he dies. Sort of like what we did with the Armored Spider in 2-1. Just don't lose your patience. That's how I died a couple of times I fought him. I lost my patience and didn't heal, or I thought I could block something, or yeah. And the stun lock doesn't always work. See, that was a risky one right there. And right there, that overhead slam that he did, you saw how I was like right up against his foot? That's actually very dangerous because the attack, I think, generates from where his fist hits the ground. And if you're too close to him, you can actually get hit full force as if you didn't have your shield up at all. I think it counts it as a hit from the back. I can't guarantee that, but it seems to have happened a few times to me. Either that or he destroyed my shield, or my guard. Yeah, guarding is a big help when you're being attacked. Down he goes. Gotta do my cheer. Alright, and we are back in the Nexus. I'm checking to see if I've got pure white world tendency because there's an area I want to go to. I didn't realize it at the time. It's an item I don't really use, but if you're looking for heavy armor, playing a heavy armor build, this is actually a really good thing to keep an eye on from the time you get to pure white world tendency. You go back to the gates of BOLETARIA, and there's a gate on the left up here, or on the right if you're playing fractured mode, that will let you that will only open at pure white or close to pure white world tendency. I was going to go down, but I didn't want this guy coming back and hitting me in the back. So. Yep, I did have my flame resist ring on. And then I walked right into a fire. Right after taking it off. So this gate's normally locked, like I said. It's open here. You will be attacked by black phantoms in here. Not NPC style ones, but more like normal mob black phantoms. You'll see here in a minute. I wasn't sure if there was anything up here. It looked like there might be. It'd been a long time since I played, so I figured I'd check it out. There wasn't anything. You'll notice I leave my shield up as much as I can because, again, it's been a long time since I played the game, and I don't want to get caught by surprise. There's a crystal lizard over there on the right. If you don't go near it, you should be fine. I think I take it out with a bow, but don't quote me. It's a safe way if you've got a strong enough bow. Nope, he saw me, so I went after it with a sword. There's another mob of 5 or 6 black phantoms up there. If you decide to fight the melee like I did, be warned, they hit like Mack trucks. Way harder than the normal ones. I think they're roughly equivalent to a New Game Plus version of the non-black phantom ones, insofar as damage is concerned, and they will rip you apart, especially if they catch you in that flailing. That one. Took a hit or two, but I killed them all. Up here a little ways, you're going to be ambushed. So the enemy in question drops their armor, and they're not a black phantom though. If you kill, they will attack you on sight, but if you kill them, you lose your pure white world tendency. So if there's anything else you need from white world tendency or pure white world tendency, deal with it before you come over here. Say if you're going for the coins from fractured mode or whatever else, you can get back to pure white world tendency, but you might as well do whatever you can with it while you can. She is right behind this wall right here. Right there. Not that hard to fight, but she does hit really hard if she gets a hold of you. That axe of hers is no joke. But she's not all that powerful, like defensive-wise. And skill-wise. You'll fight much stronger enemies throughout the game. Now, what I know now, and I would have done before, is I would have gone after the fractured mode coin before I did this. The Master's Ring, I think, gives you, with like perfect hit items, gives you extra damage. But I would have gone after the clay coin or whatever it was first before doing this, or before at least killing her. But I didn't know about it at the time. I didn't even know fractured mode existed. I hadn't really researched this game before this. I did, however, know about this armor set down here. As well as the one item that you got to drop down to get. There's a safe way to get to the armor, and that's climb down the ladder behind you, but if you want this item, you've got to drop. And this is where a lot of people end up dying, because they don't quite line up perfectly, as you can see there. But if you're lucky, and you know what you're doing, you can get there. The colorless demon souls are useful for upgrading boss soul weapons and unique weapons. For example, the Dragon Bone Smasher, I believe, uses them, as well as the Dark Silver Shield, which I will be picking up, I think, not this episode, next episode. As you can see, I'm trying to line up with that pillar down below me. If you mistime it, you're dead. Or misjudge it, you're dead. But if you judge it right, you do pretty well. Try to clear out a bunch of inventory before you try to pick this up, otherwise you won't be able to. It's 60 odd pounds, or weight, or whatever stone, whatever they use for weight in this game. So, as you can see here, I'm clearing it out. This contains the brushwood shield, and I think it was just heavy plate armor, brushwood armor, I think it was called. I don't remember if the brushwood shield is as good or not as the tower shield. I never use them. I always use the purple flame shield because for my purposes it works just as well, and it weighs a crap ton less than either of them. Plus it comes with like 90. I think the tower shield comes with 100% fire resist as well instead of 90, but it weighs like twice as much. So it's not worth it to me. I prefer staying lightweight. Yep, the whole brushwood armor set. And then you climb the ladder to get out. I think I actually just used a spell to get out. It was quicker. Wasn't planning on doing anything else in here anyway, so might as well just use the evacuate spell. Alright, and this is our next area. I know I've been cutting out a lot of the Nexus stuff. It's just, there's not much I do there except kill myself. So 2-3 is just a boss arena. Same as the end of most of the, what do you call it? Most of the worlds except for BOLETARIA Palace, which has a 4th level. And BOLETARIA Palace does not have any boss levels, but all the other worlds have, their final stage is basically just a boss arena. This boss, if you ever played Dark Souls, this is the equivalent of Bed of Chaos. This is a boss that's going to kill you almost guaranteed every time. There are a couple of crystal lizards in here. As you can see, I'm trying to figure out where I can be and where I won't take damage. I have an idea of what I'm supposed to be doing. You got to break these pillars while he's not looking at you, and then you got to get behind these things. However, they are not protection from the hits. If he's swinging at you, he's going to kill you even behind those. So please keep that in mind. And yeah, so that was death number 1. So your real goal here is to keep him from seeing you, and you'll notice I actually sort of realized this partway through. He indicates whether he can see you, whether yellow eyes are red. If his eyes are red, you really need to be hidden, out of sight, or out of range of his attacks if possible. If his eyes are yellow, that means he doesn't know where you're at in any way, shape, or form. So if you turn, say, left, or if you need to run right, wait till he turns his head to the left, your left, and then you can make a run for it. It takes 2 or 3 hits with the sword to break the pillars that are in your way. Yeah, just ignore the fact that I just stood there walking against a wall for a while. I think I got distracted by something. I don't bother to pick up my items. Here I was thinking it was a timing thing, so I waited till he hit that, and then I turned and ran, but as you saw there, his eyes are still red, and I realized I didn't break the pillar, so I'm about to get squished. Bye-bye. Yeah. Didn't go so well. Round 3. Worst part about this is the run back. The reason I didn't do a sped up thing is because it's literally like 30 seconds back to the fight. So you can watch all the fights directly. So I wait for him to swing. Eyes turned yellow. I should have waited till he turned. I didn't. But he was hitting where I was before. So I got behind here. And I forgot to check him to see what he was doing before I ran again. And he saw me. Yeah. In case you haven't noticed, I learned by trial and error. Sort of like the armored spider. I was trying to learn that fight by trial and error for a melee fight. Did not go so well. Finally, I just gave up. This fight here, there's no way to cheese it that I know of. However, after you've figured out what you're looking for, you'll see this attempt goes a whole lot better. This boss you don't have to fight, per se. It's a puzzle boss. Eyes went yellow. Around the corner, he should attack the area I was just in. As you can see, I'm actually checking his face now. Right now would be a bad time to go because he's looking in my direction. But somehow or another, this little spike that I'm hiding behind, he can't see through. So I wait till he turns the other way, and then I run again. I ran all the way through. You are safe in this area. I do not believe he can hit you here. Don't quote me on that, but I've never died here, and I've never tried to hide. So, push the button. That really should have killed me where I was standing. I do believe you're safe through here, but don't take chances, stay out of sight. He starts breathing fire at you from this point. And the fire will kill you just as fast as his fist will. So, again, don't take chances, wait till he's looking away. You've still got more barriers you've got to destroy to get through here. There he goes, looking away. As you can see, I'm using the pillar and just taking a pot shot and getting back behind it, and then I'm waiting for another opening. He's looking away. Destroy all that. Still got yellow eyes, so I'm still safe. I don't know how he doesn't see me there. I got one more barrier I gotta destroy. And then once you hit these stairs, you're moderately safe. I wouldn't stand around. I think he can still kill you right here. But I don't think I've ever died through here. There's another crystal lizard that I am really having a hard time hitting. And then we shoot him again. There is an achievement here. If the Fist of Gods or Hands of Gods or whatever it was that you picked up earlier, which you would have picked up on the way here, if you use them to kill him, you get an achievement. Unfortunately, they are very close melee range, which means getting right up in his face where he can kill you pretty easily. But I didn't know about it at the time, so I didn't get it. He gave me my second Master's Ring for optimal hits. There's no point in 2, but I'm a pack rat, so it's not like I'm going to destroy one. And now I'm looking around, see if there's anything else to get. And you're just going to attack the spike on his face. However, his breath will hurt you, so watch out. And he's almost dead. I got a little too close. Took a massive hit. Now, before I click on this thing, I believe I go back and get the Dragon Bone Smasher, which is just up here. It can only be gotten on pure white or pure black world tendencies, I think. There is a guy outside up on a platforming section who wants you to show it to him. I believe he only shows up on pure white. I actually don't do that this playthrough. I didn't plan on using the damn thing anyway. It's not really my type of weapon that I prefer. However, go all the way back toward the beginning. Pick up the nothingness that was the souls that you'd lost several times. Normally this area is blocked off right through here, unless you're on pure white or pure black. And there's a Dragon Bone Smasher. Not much else to do here, unless you want to go after those crystal lizards, which I didn't bother. I had lost access to one of them anyway. Served no purpose to me. So, take of that what you will. This isn't a walkthrough, so I will try to provide as much information as I can, but it's not really what I'm aiming for. Now, when I clicked on this thing, it gave me an item that I didn't recognize. Again, because I didn't really do a whole lot of reading on this thing. That Nexial Agent. And I was trying to figure out what it was. So you'll see me, I'm going through my inventory, trying to figure out what the hell it was that I just picked up. I didn't know if it was a normal item. I didn't know what it was. Because there's my normal Nexial binding. And I figured it was something similar to that, and I was just like, what the? So, you'll see I started going through all my stuff, trying to figure out where it was, if I missed it, what it even did. Spells, rings. It wasn't a ring. It wasn't armor. I found it there. Allows access to regions connected by the Nexus. This item is effectively the Lord Vessel of Demon Souls Remaster. It allows you to jump around and do things that you couldn't do before, which is great. Means you don't have to go back to the Nexus before you do and before you travel around. I don't think I utilized it all that much, because whenever I completed an area, I had to go back to the Nexus anyway. So, because I had to kill myself. So, yeah. But you can see on the top right how it actually shows all of the different areas now. So here, I've got the Flame Lurker Soul, so I go talk to the blacksmith again. And then I realized that I gotta talk to him.
And show me your I'm busy forging a weapon.
You gotta talk to him like 3 or 4 times. Once he stops giving you new messages, you exit and go talk to him again. And he will offer to take the Flame Demon Soul or whatever it's called, the Scorched. Yeah. So. As you can see here, he's done he's only repeating himself now, so.
The highest grade. Yes, that's the with it I can forge.
Then you talk to him again. Searing Demon Souls, bring me a soul. Yes. And now you can put boss souls into weapons. I actually don't think I utilized this in any way, shape, or form. Mostly because I don't think there's an achievement for it, for example, on this one here, you could use the golden demon soul to upgrade a wooden catalyst to an insanity catalyst. Which is not a bad item, but I have no use for it. So I decided to leave. The next area we're going to is back to 4-2. Alright, so I had to cut a little bit out. Apparently had some corrupted footage, and it kept breaking my editor. So anyway, we're doing 4-2, and I usually almost always start a farming run this way when I'm farming Bladestone or just souls. Got to make sure you shoot the altar randomly and shoot the ground. Those are traditional before you kill the guy. Just do it quick, because if you don't do it too quick, if you don't do it quick enough, these guys on the right and left will kill you. So, as you saw there, I equipped some fire resin. The fire resin will allow me to more easily fight the next guy, which is down here on the right. Secret door. And there's a black skeleton out here. This is the only black skeleton that can drop pure Bladestone unless you're on pure black world tendency. So if you're looking to do the sharp upgrades like I am doing on this game, or on this playthrough, then you need this guy. And you need to kill him a lot. I do believe the pure Bladestone has like a 1% drop rate. Maybe a 0.5%, I'm not sure. But you gotta be careful fighting him here, because right behind me there's a bunch of those rays, and they like to shoot spikes at you. The thief ring helps a lot here. Right there. And so basically this would be your farming run. You go, you kill that one guy, you run down here, you kill him, and then you use your evacuate spell to go back to the Nexus, run back to the portal, and run back. It's actually faster than making your way back to the back to the reset point. In here, you will find patches. In the OG patches. I'm looking around to see if there's any items to get before I talk to him.
Oh, the demons haven't got to you.
He suggests I just go get the treasure down below.
With treasure. Go on. Have a look. That's it. That bit just there.
And then he assists me with getting to it. Classic patches. Actually, can it really be classic patches if this is the first time he's done this to you?
I'm starving to death. Then I'll sell every last trinket off your...
Anywho, down here, you'll find Mr. Umbasa, that I forget the name of. That item on top of that pillar there you cannot get unless you're on pure white world tendency. And there is a coin down here somewhere. I don't remember if it's pure black or pure white. For the fractured mode.
Well, I did the same. He fooled me. The reverberation.
Apparently he fell for the same thing.
A fearsome dark phantom stands, but have no fear. Pray with me, Umbasa.
Umbasa. Anyway, we're going to gather up a couple of items, and then we are going to fight the Black Phantom over there, who has a katana. This guy's not too hard to fight. Just keep your shield up when you're not needing it. He's dual wielding. You just keep walking around, and if you're sure you're safe, just take a swing. Let your stamina recover, because I think you can take it down pretty quick. Oh, it's not that bad. Almost got a backstab on him there. And down he goes. By the way, speaking as an editor, utilizing the PS5's recordings and trying to make them work with an editor and work with, and it is a nightmare and a freaking half. I need to get a new capture card so that I can record 4K 60 at least with OBS from the PS4 or PS5, because this whole recording with the PS5's recorder, I mean, it seems convenient, but then you have to convert them over to MP4 and so that DaVinci can read it, and it's just a pain, a real pain. Anyway, let's confront Patches. He's going to give us a gift so that we don't try to kill him. And then if we accept his offer, even though the ring's pretty much useless, he will go back to the Nexus and he will become a vendor of very powerful items. So I usually let him live. No harm, no foul, I didn't die, etc., all that good jazz. And now we are going to continue on with the level. This level is not as bad as some of the others. It's got its quirks, though. It does have a nice opening cinematic. I think there's only a couple, 2 or 3 levels that have an opening cinematic like that for the actual level itself. So, not bad. Could be worse. Anywho, we are going to be fighting on ledges quite a bit. Luckily, I've got an upgraded shield and a bow, so I can shoot these guys out of the air because I don't want to be shot in the back. That guy's too far away. And I'm a really bad shot, by the way, if you hadn't noticed. I'm going to waste a few arrows here. At that point, I gave up. There are 3 silver skeletons down here. Trying to fight all 3 at once is a bit of a pain, especially with what's around the next corner, which you really don't want to aggro. As you can see, I'm not using the wide swings of my sword here. Oh, I almost died right there. He made me stagger back, and he almost killed me. Now that there's only one, I'll run down there and actually fight him proper because there's more room down here. And not only that, those are the least dangerous of them. I do not, under any circumstances, recommend going down this pathway just straight on. Even if it's just to run past these guys. Now, if I was paying attention, I would notice that I was running out of arrows. Yeah, so these guys will kill you in a hurry. And unfortunately, they use their swords to block. But I don't dare try to fight 2 of them at once, so this is the only real option I've got. Especially on narrow corridors. Fighting them out in the open, on flat ground without cliffs, that could be doable. Fighting them in narrow areas where you have to dodge, and dodging will get you killed, not a good idea. If you can get the pattern up, you can keep him from raising his shield. And just keep doing damage to him that way. But if he gets his shield up, well... Now, there's one more dangerous area here. And I say dangerous, it can actually... You're going to take some hits probably to do it safely, but ironically, it's safer to get hit than to try to avoid the hits in a lot of ways. Just keep your shield up, tank the hit, reduce as much damage as you can, and deal with the enemy, and then clear yourself. So you remember that necromancer, or whatever you want to call him at the beginning, how he summoned these guys? Well, now you get to see what they can do, and they can take half your life. Once you're right up on him, all he can do is melee attacks, and he's really slow. You need to kill the necromancer, though, or this guy will keep respawning. So, the first necromancer is all the way down here. You want to heal after that first guy because you got to deal with the second one, and he's going to hit you just as hard. If you manage it right, you can avoid getting hit. But it takes like 4 or 5 hits to kill these guys. Necromancer's just around these pillars here. You'll see him here in just a second. I actually won't kill him. I'll just knock him off of this thing. And I almost killed myself again. But once he's dead, all of those guys collapse. And there were apparently a bunch more down below. This room is now clear, except for with two minor exceptions that are impossible to find. You'll see I'm being real careful with my shield up. It's because I know they're in here somewhere, and I don't remember what triggers them. I do believe now it is looting those corpses over there that triggers them, but basically you've got 2 invisible enemies that are going to spawn. And I know they're going to spawn, I just don't know where they're at all. As you can see, I walked all the way to the end, loot the item, and there's the first one, and the second one. I nearly died here. And down they go. They caught me off guard when I knew they were there. Expert I am not. Anyway, moving on. I'm just checking to make sure there's nothing gonna shoot me in the back. Right around here, I believe it is, there's a black phantom skeleton if you're on pure black. And it can drop pure blade stone too, with a higher drop rate, like 3 or 4% instead of 1% compared to that first one we were talking about. Yeah, I like to waste arrows. I guess I don't really need them, but not for this area. But I will for the next. So these guys don't shoot at you as much. They mostly try melee attacks. So the best bet, leave your shield up until they hit. And their attacks take so long to wind up that you can get a hit or two in between each one. And as you can see, he's respawning before I even managed to get out of there. Get through the area. Oh, and they got a lot of range. So, unless you know what you're doing, don't drop your shield. And this is where I make a bit of a mistake. I see this guy in front of me, and I go after him, and I block him, and I get stabbed in the back. Yeah. So, you can see my cam down at the bottom right as to how I got back here, but here's my body. There's that guy in front of me again. And what killed me, you see I stood back and took that hit, is this guy. Right here. I completely forgot he existed. Yeah. Anywho, down here is an area I didn't bother messing with it. I wanted through this area. I didn't want to take a chance of dying again, and there's a lot of floating bombs, if you will, for lack of a better term, in this area. Those white floaty things right there will explode if you get near them. Down inside here at the bottom, there's a bunch of slug-looking things. They will drop items, and also there's a bunch of items that you can pick up in the area. I think you can actually farm sticky white slime off of these guys. That spot right there almost dropped me down. Luckily, I didn't. But I'm trying to keep an eye on these white... Yeah. I don't know how that one didn't go. Anyway. Now I believe we're at the boss room. This boss is... probably the easiest boss of the game. Minus maybe Phalanx. There's no real threat to this guy. I would say Old Monk is just as easy, but at least Old Monk has a chance of hitting you. This guy, as long as you don't get stupid, never hits you. Ever. You have two options when you fight this guy. You can either stand here and shoot him to death, in which case he'll never actually even come close to touching you. Or, that's him right there, by the way. Crucified on the wall or whatever it is. Or you can fight him and just dodge his attacks by, like, walking away. He has some good range, so I don't recommend, like, standing around when you're walking away, but he's also blind, so... His sword, he's using the large sword of searching, so I presume he's using it to hopefully help him find you. I don't know. Either way. The Thief's Ring makes it almost impossible for him to figure out where you're at. He has no real ranged attacks, except for his base range. If you sprint at him, he might hear you and swing at you, but... yeah. I missed. Just run in, hit him a few times, back off. It's really not much of a fight. Unless you're really unlucky and he just happens to swing right as you walk up, or you get stupid and stand there and take the hit. I think I get hit once, and it doesn't even kill me. Though in a lot of ways, I think this one might be more interesting than the next fight, considering the next fight is mostly standing in one spot shooting, because there is no possible way to fight it melee. At least not that I know of. I've never tried. Like that right there might have hit me if I got really unlucky and the timing was wrong. As you can see, I'm becoming more and more aggressive as I get used to his movesets. Coming right off of the Flame Lurker fight, this fight it's a joke. There's my first hit I took. I got reckless and greedy. Not that it's gonna matter much. If he can't kill me with one hit, this fight's effectively over already. That was me standing in front of him and taking a hit. In my defense, though, he didn't really give a whole lot of wind-up on that one. I don't think you can block that attack. With my health as it is right now, I might not survive that attack if I get hit again with it. He managed to dodge like 3 swings by just flailing his weapon. Just randomly loot something. There you go. Like I said, not much of a fight. Kind of a joke. Although, also, like I said, the next one might just be just as bad. Although you have a much higher chance of dying. So, that makes it more interesting, I guess. So I'd gone back, killed myself, and now we're off to fight the Storm King. Has one of the best entrances of any boss in this game. That's for sure. And there's a Storm King. And that is the thing you've got to kill. And that's why I don't think it can be done with melee. So your first thing you can do to help yourself is ignore everything because you're out in the open and these things have ranged attacks and can shoot you from any direction and you need cover. And the best cover you can get is this little blown out shack. So you're going to spend the next few minutes standing in here shooting these guys as they go by and hoping to avoid that kind of scenario. You need to clear out a certain number of these before the boss will even attack you. This is a good farming area later, though. One thing I like, well, like or dislike, I'm not really sure. Something I've noticed. BOLETARIA, the Dwarven Realm, the Tower of Latria, the Swamp, all of them have story. You can actually see the story, sort of how it's playing out. BOLETARIA, you're dealing with the king and his knights and his soldiers, which is the phalanx, and you're trying, and you've got the NPCs that you're trying to clear the get rid of the corrupt king, etc., etc. Okay, the Dwarven Realm is taken over by a dragon that they had long ago secured, and they built the place to Flame Lurker and the dragon were both enemies that they dealt with a long time ago. The spider, I don't know, there's a lot of lore on the spider, but Tower of Latria is a prison. The story is, for lack of a better term, I mean, it's not really a true story. The story, for lack of a better term, is you working your way through the prison hierarchy from prisoners all the way up to, I guess you'd call him the warden, for lack of a better term. Old monk. The guy who rules over the entire prison and everything in it. World 5, you're dealing with the dung heap, for lack of a better term, of the Demon Souls world. And all the refuse, basically it's the garbage dump of Demon Souls. And the bosses are themed around that garbage and trash. And then you've got Maiden Estrella, who's made it her existence to try to save. She became powerful to protect the lost souls that ended up there. Oh, by the way, the boss died. He's not all that strong. I got distracted. Forgot about him. Now I'm going to run around out here and finish off a few of the flyers if they're not already all dead. Pick up a couple of items. Looks like I don't see any flyers. But World 4, you just got random monsters out of nowhere. You got Adjudicator. You've got the Stray Demon. You've got... They don't seem to be connected to anything. Obviously, the bosses are stronger, but... And there might be some lore I don't know about, but the lore is not as well laid out as the other areas. But that's... Oh yeah, I'm looking for crystal lizards. I know they're in here, but I can't remember where they're at. I don't want to scare them away. It looked like something just flew past my face. I started spinning in circles trying to figure out what the hell it was. That right there. I think it's just like a leaf or something. Anyway, cloudstone, cloudstone, cloudstone. Lots of cloudstone. By the way, have I mentioned how good the graphics are in this game? I know there's some complaints that some people have on a few of the graphical items in this game, but this... If graphics matter to you along with gameplay, then this is an amazing update. And I know some people complained about the music changes and the atmosphere changes, things like that, and I get that. I understand it. I play the Souls games for the fun, not so much the atmosphere, things like that, or the story. The story is sort of, for me, it's more of a osmosis type thing. I sort of, after I've played it 100 times... Oh yeah, this is the way you would fight him if you're a melee class, picking up the Storm Ruler. I forgot about that. So, if you make your way all the way down here and pick that up, while you're fighting the boss, that will actually send out a shockwave when you're using it. And it deals massive damage, not just to the boss, but to those flying rays. And those flying rays, the small ones, actually respawn. So you can come back in here, run into that hut, and just start swinging that sword wildly and kill them all. Or you can use a bow like I did this time. But the sword will kill 2 or 3 at a time. So, it's another good farming spot, but I still think the first one is much more effective. Alright, next area is Tower of Latria. This is my second least favorite area of this game. Although, the first part of it's not too bad. Some people have a lot of problems here because the enemies in this area... Well, there's actually not that many enemies. There's only like 3 enemy types. There are... Well, dredgeling-looking things, the sort of pseudo-zombie things. Most of them don't even carry weapons. They're not much of an enemy. They die in like 1 hit. Then you've got the Mind Flayers, which, if you're familiar with any D&D lore or any other supernatural lore, you can probably guess they're not very friendly. They have ranged attacks that will stun you. Then they run up and eat your brains. Fun. There's one right there. A lot of people have... That's their attack right there. And it just decided to stand here and blow me up instead of eating my brains. That is actually their weakest attack right there. He could have grabbed me and sucked my brains out. Similar to the kin creatures. I forgot what they were called in Bloodborne. And they do a he probably would have killed me if he'd done that instead of, you know, blowing up. Anyway, they're scattered here and there throughout here. They're actually not too much of a threat. There's a key right here that I did not pick up. You'll notice I walked right past it. That flashy thing back there. And I'm checking every cell because I don't know what's going on, or I don't know what's useful and what's not at this point. So, you'll see I'm going into every cell looking for stuff. been a while. Don't forget to watch your feet. If you don't know the level well, there are holes in the ground that will catch you off guard when you're least expecting it, and you'll fall to your death. Or if you're lucky, you'll fall to the floor below you. But that's only like one hole out of all of them. So, you're better off not falling down the holes whenever possible. And the floor below you, when that one that I can recall that where you'd fall down, takes you back, so you have to run all the way back around to where you were. There's another mind flayer there. Having a weapon that can kill them in 1 or 2 hits and swings fast is a big help. Like that. That's why you see me checking my feet all the time, looking for holes in the ground. Mercury Stone, if you're curious, helps you do bleed builds. Bleed is not as useful as it was in later games. In Dark Souls and whatnot, I believe bleed actually counts as a like a large chunk. It'll actually, once it activates, it takes a huge chunk out of the enemy. Whereas in this game, all it does is put a dot. It's a long-lasting dot, and it can do a crap ton of damage over time, but it's still just like 2 damage per second or something like that. And it's really slow. That green one's the one that you gotta watch out for. You can dodge it. I got lucky there. Killed her right as she stunned me. But yeah, you can roll through it if you time it right. There's another key right there that I ran right past. Yeah, so apparently I forgot all about keys this playthrough. I'll figure it out eventually because I gotta go through anyway. But I need those keys in order to progress. This is one of the longest first levels of a world. It just goes on and on. I still haven't realized I had a key back there. I do know there's supposed to be a door that I'm supposed to go through. I'm not sure where it's at. This is when I remembered there was a key. I still haven't remembered the first one, but there's a key. Doesn't let me open any doors. It also doesn't help that everything looks the same in this level, at least the first part. It is so hard to navigate when everything looks the same. You got no landmarks or anything. Once you get to know it, it's not that bad, but good lord. There's a lot of same looking areas. Our goal, if you didn't know, is to get to the ground floor. But that's going to require going up a floor. Hey, there's that second key. Oh, I'm going back to see if I can open cells. I was about to say, I don't know what the hell I'm going to go do right now, but I guess I'm going to go open cells. Silver Coronet. I believe that increases my MP. Yep. Raises maximum MP. I never really used many of the lotuses. Back to my dead end. And now I get to go all the way back again. I've got some sort of impulsive need to open doors. Oh yeah, and I did completely ignore that body floating in the air for some reason. So, I don't know how, I haven't figured out how to get them down at this point, so it doesn't matter anyway. But I did completely ignore him. I'm looking for more doors to open. Honestly, you really shouldn't be opening all the doors, because if you have to run back through here again and the doors are open, all the enemies can come out and get you. Versus leaving them shut unless you need something in there, and then you can just kill the enemies or just ignore the enemies and they can't come out. Novel, huh? Hindsight's 20/20 though. Oop. Ran out of room. Now I get to go empty my inventory yet again. This is one advantage of the new system that I really love. Not having to go all the way back to town every time you run out of room. I don't know what I'm doing there. Oh. Yeah, okay. Got weight down considerably. I never use kunai, so I always just get rid of them whenever I see them. I should have enough to get this now, assuming I don't forget about it. And it's the wizard's clothes that I don't think I've ever used, even as a wizard. Yes, I forgot to open some doors, so I went back to open them. Even though there was nothing in the room. Except an enemy. That gave me 4 souls. So worth it. And then there's my bonfire, or warp stone, or whatever the hell they're called here. Archstone. And we are finally moving on from phase 1. And going upstairs. Wasn't much of an enemy. This is where I realize that there's enemies hanging that I can't seem to figure out how to kill. Or bring down. Like, well, not him. See, this is one of those areas where if you open the door and you don't need anything in there, the next time you come through here, you have to deal with all those guys. I'm trying to kill as many of them as I can. Because I know I gotta go in there at some point. And there's my door that goes into the next area. I need a key to open it, though. So one of these contains an enemy that's guaranteed to poison you, and the other one contains an item. And this one here is guaranteed to poison you. Oh, okay, sorry. I was thinking of the wrong one. That one gives me my own gear back. And there goes an enemy. That one, sorry. Go up behind this guy. Smash him twice. Now I don't have to worry about him. And there you go. Now I'm poisoned. Oh, no, I'm not. I could have swore that poison's in one hit. Oh, well. Anyway. There's the key I need to open that door. And that door leads to this same room that I'm in right now, just further up. Because of that hole there. Gotta get to the other side. That hole will not kill you. It'll just drop you to the floor below unless you're unlucky and hit at an angle and go flying off into the void. But barring that, you should be fine. You'll just have to run all the way back again. Now, there is one squid enemy up there. I'm going back to open doors again. I seem to have a compulsive need to open doors. So, as I was saying before my character got so sidelined... Oh, no, never mind. Again, as I was saying before my character got sidetracked... By the way, I have ADD, if you couldn't tell. Anyway. There is one enemy... a mind flayer just outside this door, pats back and forth. And there's one just inside the next door, also pats back and forth. So use your corner angles, try to find them. Use the walls to the best of your ability. Try not to get killed. And there he goes. There's an item hidden inside here. The mind flayer's on the left over there. So this is a vendor. She sells at least one ring that's really, really nice, but for the price, you're going to get said ring later and for free, so it's not really worth it, in my humble opinion. But if you have the 50,000 and you want it right now, then go ahead and spend it. She also sells bleed resistance, or yeah, bleed stuff, things like that. So, oh, and full moon grass, and aged spice. Not the best vendor in the world, and she's a nightmare to get to from the beginning of the level if you just want to buy some stuff from her. So, it's almost not worth it in most cases. But come around the corner. Kill Squid Face. open more doors despite nothing in the area. And this is where I first noticed a hanging corpse that has an item on it. And I stared at it. And I shot it. That didn't do anything. So what you need to do is shoot the chain above it. And that will drop it to the ground. I did not know this at the time. I mean, I was sitting there staring at it, trying to figure it out. And I didn't want to really look it up. I think I eventually did look it up, but not here. I looked it up later. But, so... I think I even tried burning it or something. That did nothing. Pondering, pondering, pondering. I spent a lot of time thinking here. Do 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 do. That's copyrighted, isn't it? Crap. Oh, done thinking? Oh yeah, I was gonna try to hit it with a spell or something. See if that made any difference. Nope. And so I moved on. Ring of Magical Sharpness increases your attack power with spells, if I remember right, and also reduces your resistance to magic. So you'll do more damage, but you'll have to avoid magic also. 2 paths. So in here, I believe, is where you find Sage Freak. And there's another corpse. I was thinking maybe it was lower, maybe I could get to it, but yeah, nope. No such luck. And there's Sage Freak. And you have no means of getting him out of here just yet.
Oh, I am Freak. Perhaps you could help me. I am a sage. Oh, but take heed of those tentacles.
And so you move down. These doors, I believe, are locked until you get the warden's key. So, the third enemy type in this area, for general enemies, not counting unique ones, are, well, for lack of a better term... Oh yeah, I went to see if this was the key for his cell. It's not. So, in the meantime, they're like a ball of corpses, for lack of a better term, and they shoot soul arrows at you. they're not all that dangerous unless you get close to them, because, well, then you have less time to dodge the soul arrows, and they have, like, flailing arms everywhere that can hit you. But other than that, they're not all that bad. Still trying to open these doors. And then finally gave up, went back downstairs again. And I think that's the only enemy in this area, is one of those well, aside from the guys that are normally in the thing. Oh, almost forgot about this. So there's probably another proper enemy in here. Another mind flare. Sorry, I'm tired. I'm just switching over to description speak here at some point. And there it was. My impulsive need to open doors is still there. You're gonna find Lord Rydell down here. He's a blue phantom. I have absolutely no idea what use he is in the game. You can get his items later. You can go find his corpse. And then you can get his staff and blah blah blah. But, yeah. There he is. He just needs you to let him out. But you can't.
My name is Rydell. I have precious little time.
No key. And this side's blocked. So I think on Pure White, this side is not blocked. And you can get around and go to his corpse and get his items and so on and so forth. But you can't free him without Pure White World Tendency. Have I mentioned this level is very long compared to other ones? Partially because you look through every single cell looking for stuff. There's that enemy I was talking about. Don't know how well you can see him. It's just sort of a blurry shadow in there right now. I see him a little better now. His soul arrow is very fast, by the way. Then you start opening cell doors. One of these cells, I don't know which one, contains one of the clay coins if you're playing on fractured mode in Pure White. I think it was. I don't remember if it's Pure White or Pure Black. But no, I did not collect the coins. Partially because I didn't even know about them until I finished this playthrough. This is the second time I've had to clear my storage. Get rid of all my duplicates. On a positive note, though, we are getting down near the end of this level. So there's really two paths you can follow from here. One of which is out that door on the other side over there, and the other one is going to require some backtracking. The way you're supposed to go requires the backtracking. Crystal Lizard. I believe it drops Dark Moonstone. No, Mercury Stone. Or, I don't know. Moonstone, maybe? It drops something. Moonlight Stone Shard. That is a mouthful. Then I go back to my habit of opening doors and looting random stuff. Goodbye. This is why you watch the ground when you're running around, unless you know where you're going. Anyway, recollect my souls. As you can see, I'm being a whole lot more cautious. It is really hard to see that hole in the ground until you're right up on top of it. I open the door to find a chair. I cannot explain what I was thinking at that time. I am sorry. And it is locked. Waste of a time. So there's a key down here you can pick up, and there were two locked doors back up the way we came. They had a key hanging between them. That one right there can be unlocked via the key you pick up in here. The other method, which I do not take this time, also has an achievement attached to it. And that achievement is relating to getting through a trap without getting killed. I think I figured out why I'm constantly going through all these doors. I do not want to have to come back down here again. There's a door behind that pile, I think, that lets you outside to pick up some loot. I didn't know about it at the time. I found out about it later. And here's said trap. So that machine has a lever on the back. Said lever turns it off. If you can get to that lever without going back the proper way, you get a special achievement. What I'm doing here is just running around underneath in a safe spot to collect some items. Tip for safety: angle yourself slightly in toward the area in toward there. It'll make it less likely for you to fall off. It's actually helpful in all the Souls games when you're having to deal with narrow walkways. If you have at least one safe side. So I think I'm going to run out and try to grab at least one item here in just a second. But yeah, I don't actually take this path. I take the more traditional route. And thump, thump. Those things will maybe not kill you, but certainly deal a crap ton of damage. Warden's Key, that's what I needed. There's another item over here you can get as well. But apparently I'm not going to get it right now. So now you get to make your way all the way back. After a bout of indecision, I decided I'm going to go back. That was not where I wanted to go. Where I need to go is right in here. There are 2 mind flayers in here that you'll have to deal with. As you can see, I did not even want to deal with them, so I just shot them. But yeah, if you can make it through that arrow storm without dying, get all the way back to that thing and shut off the platform, you get a hidden achievement. It doesn't work though if you go this way. And that's not the only hidden achievement in this area. There's another one when you get to the boss. If you've played Dark Souls, this boss is similar to the Pinwheel Demon, creates copies of itself. And the hidden achievement is to only deal damage to the original one, and not hit any of the copies. Which is a bit of a well, not a nightmare, a bit of a pain, because they can all deal damage to you. And a fair amount of damage. Yes, the boss does more damage, but they all deal damage. The only way I've found to reliably tell who's who is to target them, because the fakes will have health bars pop up over their heads, and the real one won't, since it's got the boss bar. There is a lot of running in this section, though. Gotta climb the stairs, go down the one aisle. Don't have to, but there's a catalyst down there that I want. All the way up the stairs. Good freaking Lord. I I go all the way down this one, then we gotta climb on the other side and go all the way down the other side too. So this catalyst doesn't really have any noticeable advantages over my current one, except that it gives me extra MP while I've got it equipped. Which isn't much, but, I mean, anything helps. I'm trying to get a good look into the boss room, see if I can see anything useful. Not really. The angles are all bad. There's the silver catalyst. And spy leggings and gear for some reason. Now we run all the way back down. Then we run down the stairs again. Across the courtyard. Up the stairs again. All the way down the next balcony. Holy crap, there's a lot of running. There are some things I wish they had changed in this game. I understand they wanted to keep it as original as possible, but seriously, they could have shortened those platforms a little or something. The boss room's up there. That's the next tower. Can't go out that door, there's nothing over there. All the way up the next set of stairs. Now this one here is a need to. This one's not optional one like the silver catalyst was. So this one here, you run all the way down here. If you don't go down here and kill this guy, you cannot kill the boss. Well, you can, but you can't, the boss won't stay dead. It'll say boss defeated, blah, 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 and you leave, and the boss room will reset. It won't let you actually take credit for killing the boss. That's because this guy is the actual boss. Also, don't do what I did. There is a key on the wall behind him. Grab it. Don't ignore it like I did. I had to run all the way back through here later to get it in order to get Sage Freak. That key is the key to his cell.
What do you want? I won't.
Yeah. He says he's not going to interfere, but he's already interfering. He hasn't even done anything yet. I caused him to plank. Sort of. Anyway. Yeah. That was the boss. Now, there's one last enemy we gotta fight before the boss. And I'm gonna basically drop down on their head. But they're also a real pain to fight sometimes. So, there's an item down here you can grab. Shouldn't be too hard to line up and hit it. You're gonna wanna hit the highest point you can falling from here. Because she'll try to attack you almost instantly. Looks a lot like you, doesn't it? Come on. She can do a lot of damage with that dagger, though. She's really good at preventing you from getting behind her, too. It's not impossible, though. And down she goes. She will not respawn. Ta-da! Now for the boss. Put some stronger grass on because she can actually hit like a truck if you let her hit you. I don't recommend it. Put some fire on my weapon. So the idea of this fight is that this is a puppet controlled by that guy up above. Now, how that works with us killing him before she'll die, and what's controlling her at that point, I don't know. If you don't figure it out, there's actually hints on the floor that'll actually tell you that somebody must be controlling her and things like that. I don't remember if they were in the original or not. She vanishes. She creates several copies. That one's not her. It's got a life bar. So the achievement is to only hit her. Never hit the ones with the life bars. That's her. So if I hadn't hit that first one, I would have gotten the achievement right there. Unintentionally, but I would have gotten the achievement. Then I just run around, kill off these guys. They're not much of a threat, as you saw. I just sort of ran past them initially. And that is it for this level. This was a long freaking level. I think this 3-1 took over half the video. But it's done. The next one is... Oh, I'm not looking forward to it. Well, I already did it, but the next one's even worse. I think I died quite a few times on the next one. But there it is. Anyway, I will see you guys next time. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Guggen out.